Hello, everybody, and welcome to your probably a long-awaited video episode in regards to these guys right behind me. Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four. As you guys are probably aware, or some of you guys may be unaware, but the teaser trailer for the newest Fantastic Four film, Fantastic Four First Steps, has been released, and I have to say, overall, I was happy with the teaser. Um, um, but I'm sorry. Um, Sorry about that. Um, but yeah, teaser trailer for the new Fantastic Four movie, which will be released 2 weeks after James Gunn's Superman, which will be on July 25th, 2025. And for you guys who are new to me, new to my content, welcome. For the guys who want to know why am I talking about the Fantastic Four, because they are the second MCU project this year, coming out this year. And number two, more importantly, I am a humongous fan of Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four. A little bit of backstory in regards to me with the Fantastic Four. They were the first group of Marvel characters I got exposed to as a kid. And I'll be 100% brutally honest, if it wasn't for them, I probably would have not known the existence of the Marvel Comics franchise, nor would I have become a fan of Marvel Comics if it wasn't for the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four helped set the stage for the Marvel Age of Heroes during the Silver Age of comic books. They helped pave the way for Timely Comics to become Marvel Comics during the 60s. And they were a household name during that time. Even though they're still pretty popular, they're still famous within us comic book fans, there is a lot of people out there who refuse to give the Fantastic Four a shot, and to me, those people should be ashamed of themselves, because I love this team. What I love about the Fantastic Four is they're more than just a team. They are a family. And I like the fact that in the trailer, they emphasize the emphasis on family. The whole thing of having dinner on Sunday at 7 and 7. No ifs, ands, or buts. We're having dinner at 7 on Sunday. And that is awesome shit. Now, what I will like to say is that, the Fantastic Four, other than Doctor Doom, they probably have one of the best set of villains in all of comics and fiction. You got Molecule Man, you got the Mole Man, you got Blastar, you got Annihilus, you got the Puppet Master, you got Psycho Man, you got the Miracle Man, you got the Skrulls, especially Super Skrull in particular. You have Maximus the Mad, who's also a rogue of his brother Black Bolt and the Inhumans. The Fantastic Four have a pretty damn good rogues gallery. Ulysses Claw, for instance. Dragon Man, the Red Ghost, Ivan Dragoff, the Red Ghost, and the Super Apes. The Fantastic Four are a major group of heroic figures in the Marvel Comics franchise. And they have been a mainstay in the Marvel Comics franchise since their very first appearance in 1961. And throughout, we got exposed to the Skrulls, the Inhumans, Black Panthers, Silver Surfer, Galactus, Uatu the Watcher. Um, 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 yeah, I'm fine. I'm just looking at your comments. Um, I really grown to love these characters, and hopefully, they're done well. For the guys who want to know what are my thoughts on Pedro Pascal being casted as Reed Richards, I love it. I think he has the chance to be a great Reed Richards. I know a lot of people wanted John Krasinski. I know I did too, because we all geeked the fuck out when we saw him as a variant of Reed Richards in Sam Raimi's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which was one of the best parts of the movie. But Pedro Pascal, as far as I'm concerned, is a fantastic actor, no pun intended. And I think he will do a great job. I think he will do this character justice. To me, the best Reed Richards I have seen thus far on the big screen is Leon Grufford, who portrayed him in the Tim Story Fantastic Four films in 2005 and 2007. And he did a great job. He did a fantastic job as Reed Richards. And, I think Pedro Pascal is going to nail it. I think he's going to be redeemed when it comes to his comic book movies, because what happened with his Maxwell Lord and Wonder Woman 1984 wasn't him. It was the shitty material he was given. That's why his Maxwell Lord sucked. It wasn't because of him. It was because of the material he was given. And plus, Vanessa Kirby looks awesome as Susan Storm. Obviously, I know one of you guys talked about this before, but JoJo, you talked about the Jessica Alba iteration. Yes, that was part of the Tim Story Fantastic Four films, which even though I haven't watched the entirety of the 2005 one, I remember I've been watching clips of it a while back. I remember having fond memories of that movie as a kid. I still have somewhat of a soft spot for it. Oh well, I promise you guys this: before I go see the new one, I will watch and review the 2005 Fantastic Four film for you guys. Not this second, but I will sometime before the movie comes out. So stay tuned for that. And obviously, the 2015 Fantastic Four film was an absolute abomination. So we will not talking about that. But my one thing that pisses me off about this movie, what, Mom? But the 2015 one was an abomination. I don't want to talk much about it because I'll lose my crap if I do. But no, we just had dinner, Jojo. We had cold cuts. Excuse me. What pisses me off though about this new one is that we're getting a female Silver Surfer instead of the actual Silver Surfer. Norrin Rad, not Charlotte Bow. Well, I have no issue against the character. It's just that she's not the Silver Surfer to me. Plus, we did get Ralph Ianez as Galactus, and he actually looks like freaking Galactus. Unlike how he was in Rise of the Silver Surfer, where he was a fucking cloud, which pissed so many fans off, and I don't blame him because that was stupid. I do hope so. Hello, Clancy. Welcome. But I freaking loved the Fantastic Four since I was a kid, and it was through reruns of the 1967 animated series. Then I got into the 90s one, the 2005-2006 show. But more importantly, guys, when I went to this was like 10 plus years ago, my family and I, we went to our local Barnes & Noble, which is right by the Menlo Park Mall, and I stumbled upon a graphic novel in color containing the first 10 issues of the original Fantastic Four comics, written and drawn by the creators themselves, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. I read them, and I loved the shit out of them. I loved every single issue of those books, of that graphic novel. It was something that I loved as a kid, and I'll never forget it. It was something that I'll never freaking forget. And I've been a fan. If you want to know who my favorite member is, it's Ben Grimm. I like his character a lot. I think he's, and I like the fact that Sue said in the trailer, while she may be the glue, well, Sue Storm may be regarded as the glue of the FF, Ben is the rock of the FF, and she said he's always been a rock. And Ben is the heart of the Fantastic Four, and Sue is the one that tries to keep it all together. Ben Grimm, no one's shaving their back, dude. But what I will say, you like the way, yes, it was very homage to Jack Kirby's artwork. Some people were bitching about the voice. The voice, what Michael Chiklis did with his version of the thing I thought was cool. But I like this guy. It's the guy that plays Ben Grimm in this Fantastic Four was the same guy that played Microchip in season 1 of the Punisher series. So that was pretty damn cool. The guy that plays Human Torch looked pretty damn good. If I get those two actors' name, I apologize, but I really can't wait for this movie. I think it's going to be a great movie. Hopefully it is. Because you never know. Because Marvel hasn't been as good as they were during its early run from 2008 to 2019, which I think we can all agree was the peak of the Marvel Cinematic Universe franchise. But hopefully this gets people interested. Hopefully this gets people hyped for it. I was one of those people that loved the trailer. The thing, I said, the thing looked great. It's a makeup, it's practical effects, and CGI, which I think how the thing should be done. And it looks very homage to Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby's the one that created the character, and he looks great. The Galactus looks great. The entire team looks great to me. The CGI visual special effects in general look great. The Baxter building looks great. Herbie looks great. Not Herbie the Love Bug, but the robot that Reed Richard had a hand in creating in the comic books. I always liked Herbie. I don't know why people didn't like him. I always liked Herbie. And I grew up a huge fan of Fantastic Four, so fingers crossed, y'all, that it's a damn good movie. Yeah, you're not wrong, Clancy. You're not wrong. Plus, hopefully it's a damn good movie too. But yes, I've always, as I said, the Fantastic Four are among my favorite teams in comics. Stay tuned for my list of my 10 of my favorite teams in comics. My favorite teams in comics. Stay tuned for that stuff. But also, more importantly, yeah, I did too. He looked great, Galactus. He really did. He looked really damn good, Galactus. I really can't fucking wait for this movie to come out. Granted, it's not my most anticipated film. My most anticipated film is James Gunn's Superman. But hopefully, fingers crossed, it's a great freaking movie. I want both of these movies to succeed, not just because I'm a fan of Marvel and DC, but so that people can be happy about superhero movies again. Because there was a period of time where tons of people, and I mean tons of people, were loving superhero movies. Where people were interested in superhero movies, where people were interested in the stories, the characters, the plot, the action, the whole 9 yards. But because of people shoving the woke garbage down everybody's throat, and plus the bad writing in general, has really kind of damaged the superhero movie brand. But hopefully that all changes. I want the Fantastic Four to be given the respect they deserve, because to me, they're great characters. They're one of the best teams in comics. And they're one of the most important. So, yeah. So, But I'm going to talk now. I give you guys my thoughts. I'm going to open up the discussion. I'm going to post the link in the chat for you guys to come on and talk about it. No more woke Marvel. Yes, please don't fucking give us that shit. Hey, King Jamie, welcome to the episode. Um, hey, 25, what's up? Welcome to the episode. Feel free to looking for some recipes. Yeah, King Wolf is always looking for some food for me. You know what? I'll get rid of the background for now. That's my Xbox 360. That's vibrating. It's my Xbox 360. No, there's no fly in the room, not that I'm aware of. As I said, but as I said, guys, just the Xbox 360. Yeah, that thing is loud. Yeah, my bad. You know what? I'll turn it off. It's not going to explode. Trust me. I wouldn't let that happen. Life has been treating me good, King Jamie. I know your Chiefs are getting ready for the big game on Sunday, which I'm definitely looking forward to. Although I'm not going to be really rooting for who to win, but I wish you the best of luck on your team, and we'll go from there. Yeah, Vanessa Kirby's a pretty woman. My first exposure to her was through the Fast and Furious spin-off film Hobbs and Shaw, which I really enjoyed for the most part. But yeah, it looks good, man. I can't wait. As I said, I posted a link in the chat. I pinned it. She was? Oh, really? I don't remember. Maybe I might have to watch that when I get the chance. But she played the White Widow. Okay. Oh, she was in Rogue Nation. Okay. As I said, no, I didn't see it yet. Plus, I'm not a really big fan of the Mad Dog. I think he's a blowhard at times, Clancy. So I'm not a big fan of his. Plus, my mom. But yes, I did. I thought it was a pretty interesting call. As I said, I posted a link in the chat. Guys can come on aboard and talk. It's really a discussion thing about the trailer. Great for our conversation. Okay. I have no idea where Addison is. Um, well, there's going to be John Malkovich may play the Red Ghost. He may be a secondary antagonist. We are going to get trying to think. Shit. We're gonna get get into that momentarily. Um, we may get Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom's rumored to make a post-credit scene appearance. John Malkovich, yeah, he's a great actor. As a villain, yeah, he's a great actor, John Malkovich. Um, yeah, most recent because of I think Anthony Mackie misspoke. About Captain America, the character, about what the character represents, but I don't dislike Anthony. I don't think he's one of those Bollywood blowhards. I don't think he's like that at all. I heard Aaron Rodgers. I don't. I guess you don't like Aaron Rodgers, JoJo. I heard it's only like 5 minutes of Red Hulk towards the end. That's what I heard too, but I hope it's good. You hope it's good. Settings, there we go. If it's only 5 minutes, yeah, but you can only do so much in a movie. But let's just hope it's good. I know it sucks. It may take about 5 minutes or so, but if Red Hulk is great in that movie, which I think he should be, then I think we can be excited for Thunderbolts. I'm not sure who the bad guy is before that. I think the main villain in the Captain America movie is the leader, and I heard he looks like shit, and I don't understand why. But hey, we'll see how it turns out. Um, trying to fucking think here. Okay, then. Can't wait for Daredevil Born Again. Yes. Can't wait for that shit too. Can't wait for Daredevil Born Again. Love the first series. I'm a huge fan of The Man Without Fear. Been a fan since I was a kid. Love that character ever since. Uh, Three siblings, what's up? Trying to think here. Suppose any of you guys want to call in and talk about it, or just hang out at least. Yeah, Avengers Doomsday is coming out next year, and hopefully it's a good movie. Let's see, MCU projects for this year. Any good Star Wars coming out soon? I have no idea. Born Again. I kind of lost interest in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I heard it's woke as hell. Yeah, they woke that shit up. But oh shit, King Jamie. Hey, how are you?
Hey, buddy, am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
Oh, nice, buddy. How's it going, Charles?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm living my childhood fantasy, watching my team do well.
Yeah, the Chiefs. You guys have a pretty good fan base. The Chiefs have a pretty good fan base, man.
Oh, it was a lot of sad Sundays, bro. That's why I've always been around to support you Jets fans. I mean, I remember it was like 40 years for me. It's been like 60 for you guys, right? I mean,
Well,
but I can
actually,
just
when
talk
we
about
went,
my life, my whole life basically until the last 7 years was, can we make it past a wild card? If we
yeah,
even made it.
no, I understand that, man. People think people forgot the Chiefs weren't always like this. I mean, ever if it, as great as Patrick Mahomes has been, and I'm not taking it away from him, the best thing that happened to the Chiefs was Andy Reid.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, I've had great coaches, bro. So I can go through all of my favorites and everything, but that's nobody wants to hear that. One second here, man. I worked a 12-hour day today, bro. And sometimes I like to enjoy a beer after work.
That's fine. I got no problem.
Okay, cool, man. I just don't want to offend anybody on your channel and stuff, but
Let me ask you
hey,
something.
man, I'm in my 50s, right?
In your 50s, well, from 1969 to 1970, you guys won your first Super Bowl in Super Bowl IV.
Yeah.
And then from 1969 to 2019 to 2020, and about 60 years later,
Mhm.
you won the damn thing. No, about 50 to 60 years later, you won
Bro,
the whole thing again.
seriously. So in the late 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000s and 10s, I guess all the way through my whole life, I just sat around and hoped and prayed, bro. Just like you guys do. So that's why I guess I go to Jets games, you know. I went to that game with Richie against the Patriots, and I was really hoping the Jets would win, you know. I always just kind of hope the best for you guys, bro.
Well, the
You
Chiefs
guys
and the
have a great
Jets,
fan base, man.
we do. We do. We're a passionate fan base.
Can
You
you
know,
guys though rally behind Glenn and give him the time he needs to make all the changes he needs? Because I know you guys are like, you guys kind of remind me of the East Coast Denver, where you just find somebody to blame all the time, right? And I really like Glenn, and I think he's gonna bring in a working man's culture.
look, man, I'm definitely giving Glenn a chance. My father is too. He hopes it's a good hire. He knows
Nice.
Bill Parcells is one of the greatest coaches of all time.
For
If there
real,
was a year,
dude. Parcells just seriously, that guy could build a team out of nothing, man. He was fantastic at picking talent.
but I'm sorry. If there was a year where I should have started my Jet fan, it should have been '98, because that's when '98 was a good year for us Jet fans.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me ask you this question. I know you're a Chiefs fan. Did you ever like Joe Montana when he was on the Chiefs? Or you didn't give a shit about him.
Yeah, so I have always considered buying an old gunslinger and using him as a mercenary is a very bad idea. It's nice if they can. So if you could find a guy that would come in and teach your new guy, cool. But you guys didn't find that this time. You know what I mean? And then it still brings in the problem where, but you still have this guy with that he could probably get you the divisional round, and then he's just gonna get his ass kicked because it's a different game, man. It's as a quarterback, you better be young and strong or have a dad bod or something, you know. There's a reason Roethlisberger lasted so long. I mean, that's a giant dude, and he was taking hits all the time. There's a reason Jim Kelly made it to 4 Super Bowls. 4 Super Bowls, bro.
In a row.
Man. In a freaking row, bro. And so, like, it's because he was just tough as nails, right? There's a reason that these guys make it. There's a reason why these guys stumble. You know, it was really fun watching Jaden Daniels play this year. But to me, I see RG3 written all over it. These guys are going to get hurt. And unless you can pop your own knee back in and just be a Superman, like I got lucky and stumbled upon in my life, you know, I don't know how you're going to be able to compete. So I'm hoping that Glenn makes a deal with Rodgers where if you miss a stinking day of practice, that's money off your contract. Get your butt to work. We have to. In the real world, we have to. We have to go and work construction, and it kills our bodies, brother. But we build America, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all this fancy stuff that we get to have is because of the construction workers, because of the truckers that bring it in, you know, because of the workers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so if Rodgers won't get off his ass and come out of his darkness retreat and go to practice with the kids, how the hell are the kids going to know what he's going to do? And then he wants to
That's
sit
very
there and try
true,
to
man. You're
blame
not
them,
wrong.
you know? Like, get off your butt, old man. You're almost my age. Why aren't you training these guys? Oh, what example, brother? So DeAndre Hopkins comes to the Chiefs. And then within 3 weeks, Worthy turned into a little Superman that is a ball hawk. He'll go get it. When before he was more worried about running away and getting open. And now, screw that. That ball's going to the defender. Little Worthy, little Xavier Worthy, fastest kid in the NFL, zooms over there and he gets that goddamn ball. Contested ball catcher in a matter of like 3 or 4 weeks. And that's all DeAndre Hopkins in my book, bro. One of the greatest receivers of our time
generation.
right now, you know?
Oh, he's a future Hall of Famer without question.
Oh, gosh, dang, dude. I wish he was a Chief 12 years ago. You know, I wish we would have drafted him. You know what I'm saying?
But I'll tell you who was a good receiver for you guys. He may not be a Hall of Famer, but he was very good in his prime.
Who?
Dwayne Bowe.
So, yeah, Bo was really good. We had great guys a lot of years. You know what I mean? And you guys have had great guys a lot of years. But getting that right group together with the right leadership is the key. And I think it's all on the coaching, bro. I mean, we get what you guys get. You get 5 good vets, maybe 6 if you're lucky, you know, and then a whole bunch of guys in the mix that are 1, 2, 3, you know, under 5 years in the league. And then if you can get the right coaches together, they can take all the new guys, bring them in and develop them into the champions that you need. I think Glenn can do that, bro.
Well, he learned a lot from Parcells when he was with the Jets and when he was with Dallas, and he learned a lot from Sean
Parcells
Payton.
as your coach alone should be a resume tick right there. You know, that should be a green flag on a resume right there. Like any kind of coach. But being in the real world and owning businesses and having to go through employees and find out which ones are going to steal from you and which ones are not, you know, which ones are going to come to work every day, which ones are going to work hard every day, which ones are going to work hard when they do actually come in. It's a big, crazy carousel, man. And, and I believe Glenn's got the mustard, and I hope that all you Jets fans rally around him, bro.
I think we should too. Let me ask you this: Did you like Dick Vermeil when he was the coach of the Chiefs, or you didn't care for him either?
I loved Dick Vermeil, dude. I really did. I mean, he was a very emotional guy, and you know, I've been to biker bars and we've hugged and cried. You know, like you don't have to be a pussy to cry. You know what I'm saying?
Crying's not a bad thing. I've done a lot of
It's just an
crying in my day.
emotion. Not enough men are able to show emotion, you know, and especially guys that have been through trauma before. It's hard to show emotion after that. Otherwise, they'll bottle it up and then they'll just explode it all over everybody, and you don't want to be around when that explosion happens. So I say it's okay to be human. You know, we are human. We're not AI, bro. And so, like, this brings me into thinking about fan fatigue. It's okay to hate the Chiefs, bro. Like, I understand completely, because 10 years ago, if you were a Steelers fan, I read some literature from a professor at a university named Juan, and he said 10 years ago, if you were a Steelers fan, you could be like, yeah, man, I don't know, like the Chiefs are all right, because they weren't a threat. But now they're a threat. And so every fan base out there that was thinking this 20-year-old stint from the Patriots is finally over, maybe we got a chance, they're a little upset with the, hey, I'm not going to share the wealth sort of thing. But this isn't about my team letting your team get in. You know, it's about being one of the best. And if you really look at it, Vikings fans never once bitched about referees. They took it on the chin, and they'll be back next year, and they're gonna be back with a fucking vengeance. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I've been seeing Bills fans all over the interwebs just throwing down about how the Mahomes and the refs have a love affair. And I say, no, we have coaches that don't let the refs put the ball on this side or this side. You see, we just move it 6 more yards. That's how you do a third down. Quit bitching. Then you don't have to worry about the fourth down. Not once have they blamed, their own team. They're just looking everywhere. The NFL's rigged. It's Taylor Swift. She's bringing little girls to watch some dude play tight end, I guess. And so if anybody ever makes that ref comment, just understand, man, this is Psych 101, bro. This is the basic psychology. I have to hate them because they are better than us. That's now my enemy because they are a threat. And so I understand it. I'm not really ever going to embrace it because I love all you guys. I've been with Richie for years, man, since Sam Darnold was actually there.
I miss Sam Darnold on the Jets, to be honest. He wasn't a bad player.
Oh, yeah. For real, dude. He was a great player, man. He got scared as shit in playoffs.
But the thing is, though, is that he wasn't the problem. Me and my dad, we were pro keeping Sam Darnold and building the team around him. But the Jets started going a different direction, which to me screwed them over, too.
The Jets have never developed a quarterback, bro. We all know it. We've seen it. And now you've got a defensive beginning. His career was a defensive coach. So he's defensive minded. But if you let Aaron Glenn find a quarterback that can figure him out, gosh dang, dude, that's the perfect storm.
Well, the last time the Jets did a quarterback well was Chad Pennington.
Pennington was, you know what, that kid had a lot of talent, man. I remember him. He was pretty good.
He sat 2 years behind Vinny Testaverde.
On a rookie, bro. We hit on a guy back in the day named Cool Lenny that would sit on the sideline and smoke a cigarette at halftime and still go out and kick your ass. But then, you guys took it like the next year, I think, And then we missed on every single quarterback draft my whole life until Mahomes. And I got to tell you, when I found out the Chiefs were looking at this kid from Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, I was like, who is this kid? He was like a junior, and they were watching him grow up already. So the Chiefs were literally watching him since he was young, like 19, And then I watched him his senior year play that game against Mayfield. And these guys threw up 800 yards apiece. It was sick, man. There was so many passes. And the Texas Tech Red Raiders were not known as a great team. They just weren't. It's Texas Tech, man. That's like playing the Aggies and having the Aggies whip that ass, right? And that's what Jordan Love did at Utah Aggies, That was a no-name team, and Jordan Love went in there with guys that were just, like mediocre kind of let's go play some football at college guys, and they were good, but not great. They weren't the big list guys. And Jordan went up there. I watched him play in Logan, Utah, and man, that kid was fun. He had electricity on him, dude, like an electricity on him, That's fun, man. That's hero football. And I knew why the Packers picked him up too, And so I think if you guys can find a kid like that, let Glenn have him and let Glenn tell Rodgers, you better mentor this one because this one's going on your name. You know what I mean? Maybe Rodgers will come to practice.
I know what you mean, man. I definitely get what you're saying, but yeah, that's the last time the Jets did a quarterback well. Was Chapman? He sat 2 years behind Vinny Testaverde, and then when his first game was against you guys, you know, Trent Green, Priest Holmes,
and we took Pennington for a while too, right?
No, he played for the Jets and the Dolphins.
Oh, I thought he came for a backup. Maybe it was just that he was so good. I always remember him like that.
Well, Matt Castle had like 1 or 2 good years for you guys, and then you booed him out of town.
We don't boo. We will never boo our guys, dude. The Chiefs don't do it like that at all. Man, we love our guys. Even if they do a bad job, we're like, man, good try, bro. We hope you do great somewhere else. But we do not boo our guys. The Chiefs have never booed. The only time you'll hear the crowd boo is when the Raiders come running onto the field in KC.
You guys have been kicking their asses for decades.
Dude, the Raiders will 40-point your ass for just no damn reason at any time. I don't know how tough they're going to be with Carroll, but if you're not worried about Pete Carroll going to the Raiders, dude, they're going to start mollywomping people. And then the AFC West is going to be that scary because we got a Chargers with a Harbaugh, and we got a Denver with a kid that's looking really good and a great coach. You know?
Well, that's what I was saying. He's a great, maybe a horse's ass, but he's a great coach, Sean Payton. Yeah. He's a quarterback. Look what he did with Drew Brees for so many years.
I love Drew Brees, bro. That's like
Drew Brees was one of my favorite players.
All-time favorite guys is Drew Brees. When I would watch football on Sunday, my kids would come in and they go, oh, is that Drew Brees? And I'd go like this, and they would sit down and watch because they knew I was watching every move he made. That guy was one of the greatest quarterbacks to throw a football, bro.
Facts.
I mean, look at how many gosh dang yards he had, bro.
He was incredible.
Wow.
He was probably the most accurate quarterback I've ever seen in my damn life.
And he wasn't big. That's why the Chargers got rid of him, right?
For Phillip Rivers, who wasn't bad.
Fun, Charles, thanks for having me on, bro. This is really fun. I like talking football with guys that know football.
Phillip Rivers wasn't too bad, but
Rivers was awesome at throwing your team a ball 3 or 4 times in the fourth quarter. Poor Pip. I mean,
but Drew Brees was one of my favorite players.
Great.
I love another guy on your team back in the day was Jamal Charles. He was a great running back.
So Jamal was basically carrying a torch and doing a fantastic job at it. He literally ran his feet off for us. And then, but he was carrying a torch from a long-time tradition of good Chiefs running backs.
Priest Holmes, Larry Johnson.
Oh, I mean, Larry Johnson, absolutely. But Priest Holmes, that is the best 3-year running back life of a team ever. Like, dude, he had thousands of yards, man. And I mean, Saquon Barkley is looking really good and stuff, and he really reminds me a little bit of the success that Priest had for that 3-year run. But can Saquon do this more than 1 year? See what I'm saying?
Well, another thing that Priest Holmes, he ran behind a really damn good offensive line. Plus, he had a great fullback in Tony Richardson.
They called it a Chiefs power run, I think.
65 toss power trap.
Dude, they called it a Chiefs power. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, man, and they were super good, and that's all we were known for. And so nobody hated us back then because we didn't have that West Coast offense that could just go throw 30, 40 points on people, you know. We were a running team. Kind of like Nebraska was back in like the 80s and stuff. They would just run that damn ball right down your throat, and the game would end 7-3. You know, all defense and all run. But so a defense wins championships. But boy, you better have some guys on offense that have the hunger. And I don't know what's going to actually happen this weekend, but if I was going to say a prediction, I'm going to say Chiefs 31, Eagles 17. And I know that's outrageous, dude. I know it's outrageous. But even Gruden picked them 27-24 for the Chiefs. I just think we're going to go make a statement and get a couple of maybe 2 or 3 scores ahead and then just own their ass on defense for the rest of the day. Because if Saquon Barkley doesn't get 200 yards and like 3 touchdowns, the Eagles don't have a chance. I saw what Hurts was looking like that last game. And he doesn't even look as good as he did 2 years ago when he went to the Super Bowl. And the Chiefs went to the Super Bowl, and we just haven't left.
Jets Afterburners podcast wants to know, when you guys had Joe Montana, did you feel a Super Bowl was tangible?
No, not even once, bro. Like, seriously, and that's what was breaking my heart watching the Jets get their Aaron Rodgers, because I don't think the gunslinger, the hired mercenary, ever really works. Unless it's like Joe Flacco and you're just going to get him or you're just going to have him get you through the regular season. Or like Sam Darnold, just get us through the regular season. Sam's a gunslinger, bro. But I wouldn't want to hire... Gosh. I don't like the idea because I want to hire them all. I love them all. They're fantastic guys, every stinking one of them. But I don't want to bring in a hired merc gunslinger because I haven't seen it work, man. Have you ever seen it work?
Peyton Manning.
So Peyton Manning wasn't beyond his time at all. He wasn't, how can I put this? Peyton Manning said, I'll come and do it, but you're going to do it my way. And I have the formula that works, right? And then they failed. But luckily, Denver was like, look, that's our bad. We didn't get the right guys. We'll bring in the guys. And look at who Peyton Manning had to throw that ball to. Come on, man. You had some of the greatest players in football.
Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker, Wes Welker.
I mean, all you need is one of those guys to get you playoffs, you know? And then you want to put more? Keep going, dude. That was a great roster, for real. He did it just the same way Tom Brady did. Hey, let's all get together and go get a ring. Well, Rodgers 25. You're not. Nobody came, dude. I mean, Lattimore and Devontae. Who else came? Nobody came for the bell, the dinner bell, right? Because they all knew it doesn't really matter what you're gonna do. There's a formula in KC that it just kind of makes everything feel irrelevant, and it sucks because I remember feeling that way as a fan of the Chiefs. Shit, a decade ago, 15 years ago, 20, 30, 40 years ago, you know. I mean, we were mediocre at best, you know. So I dig it. I dig the hey, share the wealth bullshit. But hey, how about learn to beat the refs, build yourself a contender, and it starts with a great coach or a coach that has a way. And all right, so you could say Stafford being hired as a gunslinger worked, but that was a team set up for him. Like, if you really think about it, And then him and Goff switched places, and it worked for both of them, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because those were two good system quarterbacks. And I think you got to have something more than a system quarterback. Peyton Manning called his own plays.
Similar to Johnny Unitas.
Yeah, exactly. See what I'm saying? So if you got a guy like that, then he can go in and basically coach the team himself. Hence Tom Brady and Bruce Arians. Arians was just standing over there going, look, I don't have any part of this, so whatever, dude, do it your way. And I liked that. I liked what Arians did. He stepped back and he goes, look, there might be an asterisk here. I see what's going on. I'm out. Smart. And I know that you're not supposed to say shit about Tom Brady and stuff, but god damn, if there wasn't an asterisk on every single time. And then people were trying to throw the asterisk on the Chiefs about the refs. And I'm just like, fuck, dude, it's a simple recipe. I've seen like 9 teams do this now. You just don't let the refs set that ball. You got different kinds of penalties, okay? So you've got the pre-snap penalties where this guy didn't line up right or this guy moved. And so that's a guaranteed, it's easy reviewable. And then you got the after the snap penalties where now it's all on the refs. So in the fourth quarter, stop fucking getting penalties. You know? You know what I'm saying? And then don't let the refs set the ball on the first yard line. Go 4 or 5 yards past it. Jesus, man. That's what the Chiefs do. It's a pretty easy recipe. The only reason I know this is because I watched my team do it for 7 years solid. AFC Championship for 7 years. It's a pretty simple recipe. Then you got to have a guy like Reed that can on the fly do that water boy playbook and draw one up. Because, oh God, this is a stressful situation. We're going to use one of our timeouts. Run this play.
What I would say to you was that Bruce Arians, I thought, was a very good coach.
Bruce Arians?
Yeah.
Was a great coach, dude.
No, I'm saying he was a good dude. He did a great job with the Cardinals. Revitalized Carson Palmer.
Yeah. For real, dude. When I was a kid, I went to St. Louis and watched Cardinals games. So there.
Carson Palmer, I think, is a very underappreciated quarterback. I thought he was a solid quarterback.
Carson Palmer was fantastic, man. That kid was fantastic. He never really had the right playbook for him. And he never really had the right guys. Like, he didn't have a team built just specifically for him. Mahomes was being watched for a couple of years, so they specifically targeted guys and then waited even another year just to give him a team that was going to go and let this gunslinger sling. Very few guys get that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Very few guys get that. Jaden Daniels got it. Ooh. J.J. McCarthy had that handed to him, and then he got hurt the first time he goes out there, bro.
I know. That got me upset.
He could have been, right? And I know everybody says could have been or something, but he could have been just that guy. And so I'm really kind of wondering what he's going to do next year. Geez, look what Bo Nix got, man. They gave him a mediocre-ass Denver team, and he went out there and took them to playoffs.
Well, he had a great offensive line. Denver had a great offense.
If that's not hero ball, I don't know what is, because they were not the greatest of anything. But they went out there and busted ass and made themselves look like the greatest of everything.
Defense was very good, too.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I love defense, bro. I'm old-fashioned, though. In my day, you could just go fucking smash people. Pardon my language. You could just wreck people, man. And
but today's NFL, it's a bunch of soft-ass bitches. Like Dad said, back in those days, they could kill the quarterback.
Oh, dude, they would headhunt him, man. They took out Trent Green just in the 2000s, bro.
I know.
Like, they took him out. They did not want him to be a contender. That guy was a surgeon, man. He'd go out there and pinpoint to my guys. And we had great running backs and everything. And they literally aimed for his bean to put him in the hospital. You know, the only team that never worked on was when Lawrence Taylor was like, "Oh yeah."
Well, Lawrence Taylor, when he took out Joe Theismann, he didn't do it on purpose. He did it accidentally.
Dude, Lawrence Taylor, when he found out that there was a hit put on him,
he kicked their ass
and busted a whole entire team's mouth.
He was a beast. My dad will tell you he was the greatest football player he ever saw.
He was amazing, man. He was scary as shit. You know, I mean, just knowing that this guy was going to come to town and he was going to buy all the cocaine and hookers and send them to your line. Keep them up all night and then beat the shit out of them for like 3 hours the next day.
Now, I remember you telling me I remember you telling me in the comment that you love Derek Thomas.
I love Derek Thomas, bro. I got his jersey in my closet. Nobody gets to even touch it. Yeah. I have a signed
My dad said
Derek
he was the
Thomas
closest
rookie card from 1989. He signed it while it was in my hands.
Derek, my father will tell you he was the closest linebacker he saw to Lawrence Taylor.
Well, they're silverback gorillas, dude. They'd come across that line like a gorilla through the forest and just that's the most intimidating thing I ever seen in my life, man. I was a defensive end. I would go for the pitch man or the quarterback, right? So I either got the pitch or the quarterback. And I would watch guys like Derek Thomas being an outside linebacker thinking, well, I'm not. I could hit you pretty hard and stuff, but I don't think I could just take you clean out of this life like they could. These guys are monsters. I see a lot of Chris Jones in that sort of guy. He's just a menace to everybody.
Chris Jones, he's earned my respect these past few years.
So,
I knew he was a good player, but I never thought he was.
Bro, for real. He's been taking double teams for 3 years, bro. Double teams. He takes 2 guys off of your line for 3 years in a row. I mean, probably longer than that, too. I'm just trying to remember, but I think maybe 4 years. But you have to double team him or he's going to just make your day miserable, you know?
I still wouldn't put him in Aaron Donald's class, but Aaron Donald was a beast.
Are you kidding me, bro? That's Chris Jones, man. He's up there. Like, this guy makes everybody else on the Chiefs defense get sacks because everybody tries to stop Chris. If you don't, that big giant bus of a man will catch your quarterback. He's that fast too. He's a giant. Oh my goodness gracious.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Fletcher Cox. I apologize. No, Chris Jones, he's definitely a really good football player.
Oh my goodness, dude. It just amazes me how Brett Veach is able to find these guys. So you guys got
George
Brett Veach as
Karlaftis
assistant, didn't you?
Hmm?
Didn't you guys hire Brett Veach's assistant? Who did?
Doug Moogie.
Moogie? Was that Brett Veach's assistant?
He was in Denver.
He was in Denver. Okay.
Fletcher Cox was a great player, Clancy. No, Fletcher Cox was a beast. He was.
Yeah, dude, for sure. I mean, all these guys, bro. It's amazing to me how many guys don't make it to the NFL that are just the scariest monster mountains of men I've ever seen. And I don't know why.
No, we're not, Matthew. Stop with the hate.
Class, you know.
Mookie came from Denver, yeah. But what I was going to say to you was that, I'm trying to think. Do you like George Karlaftis? I think he's a good player.
Furious George, baby. I love Furious George. He plays like a fucking animal, dude. He's got no.
You know what his nickname is?
Low gear.
Greek Freak.
Is what?
His nickname's the Greek Freak, like Giannis Antetokounmpo from.
Yeah. I call him Furious George. I think that's a nicer nickname and cooler.
That's fine.
and So yeah, he is a big Greek kid that has no low gear. It's 100% all the time. And so I like having him there. I love having Drew Tranquil there. He doesn't have a low gear either. That guy is just, let's lift weights and go smash people, right? Omenihu is just a boss for real. I mean, he was hurt this year. Geez, the Chiefs have had more injuries this year than I've ever seen for a very, very long time, man. It's been heck for sure. So, sounds like your dad and I have a lot of the same tastes in football. He must be pretty cool.
My dad is, he just got home from work. My father will tell you the
Working
greatest football
hands.
player.
Cheers. Working.
Is that a Michelob Ultra or is that a Budweiser?
It's a Mick Ultra, so they didn't have Busch Light, which is the cheap beer. So I went for flavor this time. It's not a bad beer, dude. It's actually really tasty. I don't get paid or nothing for this shit.
But my dad,
The
he told
six-pack after work is nice.
the two greatest football players he ever seen in his life were Wallace Taylor and Walter Payton.
I mean, Walter Payton, bro, for real. Holy cow. What an amazing athlete, man. I wish I could have seen Jim Thorpe play anything, like any sport. Jim Thorpe, in my opinion, and this is way before our time and stuff, but I think Jim Thorpe was the greatest athlete this planet has ever seen, next to like Achilles or some Greek myth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy was a Native American kid and just great at everything, man. If it was running, jumping, or swimming, he'd beat your ass at it. He was the greatest athlete that ever walked the face of this beautiful planet, man.
I really, but Chris Jones is very good. George Karlaftis is very good. They have a lot of good pass rushers. I mean, I love, who's their middle linebacker? Nick Bolton. He's very good.
Dude, Nick Bolton is a free agent too, and if we can't figure out a way to pay him, I'm gonna throw a fit. And I also want to keep my safety,
Justin Reed.
He's
very good too.
Dude, he's a great kicker too. He can punt. He can kick 40-yarders and make them every time. He hasn't missed yet. You know.
Who, Harrison Buckner?
Reed.
Yeah.
Number 20.
Yeah.
He's a great kicker. A great kicker. This is one of the most athletic guys in the NFL today is Justin Reed. I'm not going to put him anywhere near Jim Thorpe, but I will say this. I bet you this kid could pitch a fastball. You know what I'm saying? I'll bet you he can wrestle. I bet you he can run hurdles.
I bet he can.
An amazing athlete. And to see a guy like that not be kept on my team breaks my heart because I really love Justin Reed a lot.
Did you like Tyrann Mathieu?
$13 million. What was he? 11 million, 11 and a half or something like that to keep him. And I think as much as I love DeAndre Hopkins, I'll trade because I love defense even more. And I love a guy that will break his fingers off of one hand, have guys on the sideline set his fingers, wrap it in a glove, and go finish a season. And in 6 weeks was catching an interception, you know? I mean, I watched that. Nobody said a word about Justin's hand. He's that tough, and he didn't even complain, bro. And watch him in interviews, he's just smiling and happy and nice. Just nice, bro. That's what the world needs, is nice guys like that are just happy to be out there playing, love the people that they're working for. You know, if the world was better, we would all have that kind of thing.
You're not wrong, pal. You're not wrong. Did you like Tyrann Mathieu when he was on your team?
No. Yes. I loved Tyrann Mathieu. He was a Chief. So I love all my guys.
Was there a Chief player you didn't like?
I can't. I can say I didn't like some stuff that they did, like how Tyrann Mathieu basically blamed every dropped assignment on Dirty Dan Sorensen. And Dan was a great guy, so nice, so great in interviews and stuff. And then Tyrann Mathieu would miss an assignment. He'd turn around, and Dan's the only one chasing the guy down the field, and Matthews would go. Like that.
Okay, I understand that.
All
Yeah.
of the fans that didn't know what was really going on and weren't sitting in the stands like I was watching Dan Sorensen, all the fans seen Dan covering his guy. He's on this side. That guy came from the other side, runs down the field, catches a touchdown pass. And then Tyrann Mathieu, the phony badger, sorry, I should never do that. The honey badger said, like, blamed it on Dirty Dan. And none of the fans seen the real because they only saw what the NFL showed on the TV. And I sat on row 3 most of the games through Danny Sorensen and Tyrann Mathieu's career. Okay? That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying is, come on, man. Like, you can't just throw someone under the bus that was just a hardworking guy and too nice to go kick you in the teeth for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Dan was a nice guy. On a football field, he was just a monster, dude. He would hammer you. That guy hit hard. And I think I kind of fell in love with Daniel Sorensen as a player and started watching every play from then on once he picked off Drew Brees twice and took it to the house one of those times, dude.
Was it Eric Berry?
No, that was Danny Sorensen. Eric Berry is a lion. One of the greatest safeties I've ever had, bro.
Oh, that's a fact. I love me some Eric Berry.
What's
the
that?
fact that I loved Eric Berry. I thought he was a great player too. He battled lymphoma one year.
Dude. So scary. So tough. And then when he got to pick one and take it to the house in front of his family there against Baltimore as a Chief. I know it sucks to like be on the opposing team, but when he came back and beat cancer and he came back and played, he picked one and took it to the house against Baltimore.
That was against Atlanta, I think.
Or was it Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. That's right. Gosh, I knew it was back east somewhere, man. I get them mixed up. I'm old and stuff.
But I loved Eric Berry. He was a great player. Did you like son of a bitch?
Everybody like and subscribe and stuff for Charles, man. He deserves all these likes, man.
Trying to fucking
get him on that algorithm.
What was that? Linebacker number 56, Derek Johnson. Did you like him?
Yes.
He was great.
Yes. Absolutely.
I loved Justin Houston. He was a great football player.
Justin was great. When he started getting older, man, he was such a giant dude that I imagine when he got older, taking all that abuse, I should say giving out all of that abuse, probably took its toll really bad on his body. And I think the Chiefs did right by him by letting him go somewhere else and get paid.
He went to Indianapolis for a couple years, and he went to Baltimore, then he went to Tampa. I wanted the Jets to pick him up. Oh my
dude, he could have just. He was such a great guy. He could have been a great player coach. You know, if you just wanted.
He was a great pass rusher. He had 22 sacks one year. That was in 2014.
Yeah, man, he was fantastic.
I remember. You probably remember when Jared Allen played for you guys.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I love Jared Allen. I remember when he was on the Vikings.
Yeah, he was great too, man. There's so many of them, bro.
I loved when he rocked the mullet. This is in the front, party in the back.
When I was a kid, bro, I got to meet a lot of the Chiefs players back then because, I mean, it was literally like $10 to get in the gate and go find a seat, right? Nobody was paying to go see the games. Now, if I want to go to a game, and my daughter loves the Chiefs, if I take her to a Chiefs game, I'm a couple grand in by the time I'm done, you know. I'm not in KC. I'm not in Kansas anymore, Toto. You know.
Tamba Hali was another good one.
Tamba Hali was great one, dude. He was so scary.
He was
When
a great.
he
I
got
think
to
he
when he
was.
got to throw the touchdown pass and catch one the same play, it was so fun. They used the exact same play. They just used it different. They let Tamba throw one over the top, and then they let Tamba run in there and then catch one over the top. It's crazy how anybody can be a receiver if you just declare them to the refs. And then I've actually seen the refs pretend like somebody didn't declare it, and it was on. They walked to the ref on the field and said, "I'm declaring myself as a receiver," and the ref nods and then says they didn't. So beat the refs. Like say it loud so it's like on the camera. Hey, I'm a receiver this time. And dare them to cover your ass. But that's
Now,
the only way to beat the refs, man. You can't rely on those guys. They're 65-year-old men with cataracts or young girls, and they're out there with the biggest, fastest, strongest men on the planet.
let me ask you this: who do you think was a better tight end for the Chiefs, Kelsey in his prime or Gonzalez?
Oh, come on, dude. Kelsey in his prime or Kelsey long term? Because there's two different Kelseys. Kelsey in his prime was a little shit. Oh my goodness, he got in so much trouble all the time, man. He was such a little bugger. And then when he matured, he became better than everyone. Everyone, dude. There's not one tight end on the game that is even close to him after he matured. So I'll say Tony Gonzalez until Big Trav matured and he learned how to morph into playoff Yeti. Gonzalez was better before that. He was better like basically his entire time, and he was very respectful and respectable in interviews and to other teams and other fan bases and stuff like that. And that's what it takes to have a kingdom. And once Big Trav quit like showing out and like throwing his little towel at the referees and and like causing general havoc because he was a little prankster shit. I should say a big one because he's
I should have. I mean, I am a huge Tony Gonzalez fan, and I think not only was he a great football player, but he seemed like a really good guy too.
Great guy. What a nice interview to listen to anything he has to say. He's got a great voice. He's a good looking fella.
Oh, he's handsome as shit. He should be on the sexiest man alive list.
He was a badass too, though. Like on the field, he was great big. That's where the Chiefs said, "Listen, we got to get another one of these." They found Big Trav. You know what I mean?
Travis is a great tight end, but I don't think he blocks as good as Gonzalez in my opinion. But
Gonzalez could knock a guy down. He could knock down a linebacker. That's freaking hard to do, right?
Oh, I know that. That's 100%
and
true.
Big Trav was never really a blocker. I think he was so he started out his career thing as a quarterback when he was young. And quarterbacks aren't taught how to be a blocker, But then he morphed into a tight end. And I got to tell you, man, once his maturity level hit, and it happens to all of us. It takes us a while, but once we get it figured out, gosh, the potential is just amazing. And Trav got lucky, and he figured out his maturity early enough in his career that he could go to be the best ever. He has on purpose not taken the games where he only needed like 11 yards or whatever to go take records. He just doesn't want to do that. On purpose, he took a way giant pay cut to stay a Chief. I mean, it's not about money to him.
It's about championships.
It's about staying on his faithful team, like the one that drafted him. It's rare, and I wish it happened more often. When a guy gets drafted to a team and he stays there his whole career, I mean, and he's good enough where they're like, absolutely. And then he's like, I'll take a pay cut. Let's get more guys on here take the load off me a little bit. Let's ride this out, and I will morph into the Yeti every playoffs. Holy cow, dude. Those are so rare. That's what the Jets need, is something like that to happen. You know, you guys need those kind of... I wonder what it would take, bro. Would it take a stadium that was just yours?
Let me give you guys my thoughts on the Jets and Giants playing in the same stadium. I'm not a big fan of it, but at the same time, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, you know?
I get it. It's a football field, but do the players get it? Because you got guys that are young kids to me, bro. Your age, right? They're young kids to me. And they're just basically coming out of college, and they have to go to a place. They got to share this shit with another team.
Yeah.
It's too bad you guys couldn't buy the property the old Shea Stadium was on, demolish that shit, and put up a, $4 billion state-of-the-art facility like everybody else is doing these days, you know? I mean, even Chicago's pumping $1.1 billion into their dilapidated old nursing home they call Soldier Field, right? That place smells like old man sweat and pee, you know? And I say good, because I will go to a game then. Because that last time, that was not fun. I mean, it's not a good facility. But if they're going to put 1.1 bill into it and actually wash that thing down, like give it a good bath like it's needed for years, I'll go to a Chicago game, you know? I love going to Arizona. I love going to SoFi Stadium. Shit, I'll go to Denver. At least there, it's only the pee in the parking lot.
But, you know, trying to think. But, you know, Travis Kelce is a great player, and he's definitely a future Hall of Famer. But, you know, I probably am a bigger fan of his brother, Jason Kelce.
I love Jason Kelce, bro. I'll give you a high five on that. High five. So, yes, Jason Kelce was the guy who made the tush push possible.
He was a great center. One of the best centers of all time.
Center I can think of for years. There's been great centers, dude. A lot of people don't look at the line like that, but there's been some big names. And there's one guy that's got more starts than Jason. I don't remember what his name is. But I know that Jason was not the greatest center of all time. But I like to think of him as said greatest center of all time. Mostly because I think the way that Eagles fans and Chiefs fans get along these days is because of the Kelce boys, you know? And that's pretty neat. I like that. I'm for that because Eagles fans, my brother-in-law is an Eagles fan. And so at least we have something fun to talk about, right? Instead of just like, oh, screw you, the Chiefs suck or whatever, right?
I mean, we've had a lot of great centers from my time. I mean, Kevin Mawai was a great center. Nick Mangold, Jeff Saturday, Sean O'Hara.
Dude, Saturday was fun. What did you think about him coaching?
I thought it was interesting. I know he'll probably tell you he did a terrible job, but
I don't know if he did a terrible job. I think he was stuck. He jumped into a situation where there was really no answer, and there was no way he was going to get it right. But he took on the responsibility, and salute Jeff Saturday, man. I really liked that. I was hoping he'd go out there and just figure it out and kick everybody's ass for the whole time he was there. Mostly because I knew he was a great player when he played, you know. Oh, there's so many of them. There's so many of them, dude. Imagine if like a guy like DeAndre Hopkins became a wide receiver coach. Holy cats. That would be worth $5 million a year just to have him on the sideline to talk to your guys.
Well, we Jet fans had Hines Ward, who should be in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
He was our wide receiver coach under Googly Eyed Gaze.
I liked him too. Hines
He
Ward
was great. One of my favorite wide receivers of all time. I also liked.
Wait a minute,
another great center.
you guys South Philly says I'm a grifter. Bro, hop on my channel and look at what I do. I run heavy equipment. I started out surveying land, but the guy I worked with every day wrecked his Harley Davidson and cracked his skull open and poured his brains out on the ground. So I got big machines to take my mind away from it. Now I play on YouTube to take my mind away from it. And I bring in cool guys on my show and we talk about fun stuff. We don't call each other names or nothing. I ain't putting up with that, man. South Philly boy. What's up, South Philly? Thought we were supposed to be friends, man. Because I'll meet you and have a beer with you.
No, he's not calling you. He's calling Chiefs fan. There's a guy on Jake's show calling himself Chiefs fan.
Oh, I thought he was talking about me because, you know.
No, don't worry about it. I'm thinking of another song that I loved as a kid.
I think the worst thing I said to him was, I'll meet you and have a beer.
I think who's another great son? Jason Kelce.
I just worked a 12-hour day, Philly. Boom.
You know what made me earn a lot of what made me earn Jason Kelce what made Jason Kelce earn my respect even more is when he gave a huge shout out to Joe Tippmann in week 1 against the 49ers. I like Joe Tippmann, man. I think he's a good center.
Tippmann has the potential to be one of the top centers, like in the league, bro. That kid's tough. He really is. He's a good one too, and he sees what's coming. And I like how he does it. Not enough.
Creed Humphrey's pretty good too. Tyler Linderbaum's pretty good.
What are you guys gonna do about Mosley being a free agent? You guys gonna pay him?
I don't think we will. I mean, I love Mosley. I think he was a great Jet. He was a great Raven. But I think we should try to sign Jamie Sherwood because he was fantastic for us this past season.
I dig it. I see it. And if you can go a little cheaper and get a younger talent, I can see that too. But it just sucks because I thought he was going to be one of those lifers that we talked about, you know? Huh.
Really, Matthew Smith? I disagree with this take. Tippmann better than Creed Humphrey? Come on, bro. Creed Humphrey's a great center.
Creed Humphrey has rings. And literally there's a reason why he's the Chiefs center.
He's a great blocker and a great communicator.
The focal point of a line that's going to go win championships. And I don't know a center that's playing. Now that Jason Kelce is gone, I don't know a center that's better, really. So I want you to give me a fact. Give me a fact right there. Like, you can't just say stuff like that into the interwebs and not have somebody fact check your ass. Because I get fact checked all the time. Most of my stuff is from memory, and so I guarantee I'm a little bit off on most of it.
Tyler Linderbaum of the Ravens is a pretty good center.
Yeah. No, he's not just pretty good. You know, he's better than pretty good, bro.
Matthew Smith said, no, Creed gets help from the refs, holds every play.
Oh, my gosh. There we go with the ref thing. I told you, bro, Psych 101. We already talked about this kid's new, huh?
Look, man, all I'm going to say is that, look, I'm not just saying that it's Matthew Smith. I like Creed Humphrey. I think he's a very good center.
I mean,
I agree with this take from JoJo Townsell. Give Tip one more year, then we can compare. Joe Tippmann, I think, is probably the best center I've seen the Jets had since Nick Mangold. Nick Mangold, I remember watching a Jet game. I can't tell if it was a preseason or a regular season game where he played with a fucking bloody finger.
Yeah.
I mean, name me
a
center today's
the taped up fingers because they're out there and they'll get them bit off, bro. They'll get stuck in a piece of the armor and bust. I've seen it like that a lot of times, man. Most of my guys have taped up fingers because it's a battle every time when you're at the top, man. Like, everybody brings you their game.
Okay. Matthew Smith was just playing. Creed is multiple-time All-Pro, right? He's elite. Didn't he have a good old line coach? And we will see.
Well, I mean, but I can't take much away from the other feller either, because these guys are playing just the scariest position I can think of. You're right in the middle of the battle, man.
It's in the trenches.
And in my mind, what happens is it's old Viking stuff, bro. Like it's old Viking stuff where you got a shield wall and you're just boom, 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 pushing through, right? And then you've got your archers, which are your receivers, going down the sideline, right? And then there's the general, who's supposed to be the quarterback, and you've got a running back, and he's the guy that goes and busts the shield wall on the other side. And so, yeah, man, I mean, I might be weird, and that might have my pick of how I like to look at football, but these guys are wearing.
That's not weird. That's a good analogy.
I mean, thanks, man. That's how I look at it, and so every game I go into it like, ooh, this is gonna be cool. This is gonna be like watching the History Channel almost. And these guys brawl on the front lines, man. The linemen are the most underrated and underpaid guys in this whole entire league, bro. And then we got receivers that are, in my opinion, interchangeable. They're completely replaceable because there's so many receivers that are great that want these guys' jobs. Why in the shit would you pay Tyreek Hill that kind of money?
Tyreek Hill's a jackass.
There's a reason we got rid of him, dude. He's a pregnant woman beating child abuser. And then he'll go and beat up guys that are just trying to clean a yacht. And then knock up 50 chicks around town. I mean, I don't want him back ever, bro.
He's a great talent, but a horse's ass. I remember so many different. We're gonna get Tyreek Hill, then he goes to Miami while he's putting up these yards. He's not winning championships. You leave Kansas City, you were winning freaking rings, and he's coming here and he ain't doing shit.
Well, he wasn't gonna take a deal, bro. Like at the time, like Mahomes is $50 million a year, and the whole cap is what, 5 times that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 5 other guys that you could pay to make that kind of money. Everybody else has to be basically a rookie, making $1 million or $2 million. And so if you got 6 guys and then everybody else is rookies, maybe you could get something to work. But said other 5 guys have to take a big deficit because that quarterback costs $50 million a year. That's $500 million in 10 years, man. I just don't think I can do that much excavation, bro.
But I remember when you guys had him, Mecole Hardman. Is Mecole Hardman still on the team?
Yeah, we traded him to the Jets last year, and then when you guys had a fire sale, we got him back. Actually, I think we even made money off of that goddamn circus that was going on over there. And then he came and he caught the winning pass and the touchdown. The thing was with Mecole is the guy can't block. When he's downfield and he's worried about a safety popping him, he will not catch a ball. I mean, he does, but not a lot. He's better on a pitch so he can get yards after catch. So if you do a pitch or a jet sweep, fantastic at it. But then he goes to the Jets and you guys used him totally wrong and then thought he was a bust. And I was like, he's really not a bust. He's actually faster than Tyreek Hill. But Tyreek is a ball hawk. He will actually go after the ball. But Mecole never had that kind of juice, bro. Hey, I gotta jump off here, Charles.
It's great talking with you,
King. But this thing I'm using here is the battery's about dead, and I don't want to put you in limbo while I try to charge the sucker.
No problem, King Jamie. It was great talking to you. It was great seeing you in person. Great seeing you on camera, I meant to say. Great talking football with you.
Check out my channel, bro. We'll be trying to watch the football awards on Thursday, right?
Is it this Thursday?
Yeah, bro. Like at 7.
Who's hosting it?
Mountain, 6-5 your time. Wait, 8-9 your time.
Who's hosting it?
I don't know, man. Anthony has all that. I'm just there to drink beer after work and laugh at what Anthony says. He's a Bills fan. And he's
Oh,
like,
okay, man.
he's actually, dude, you'll know him from some of the other chats, Anthony Padilla, and he actually took it like a champion, bro. If the rest of the Bills fans could take it like Anthony, I think that the refs would allow them to win a game. jokes. But Anthony,
It is what
cool
it is,
about
man.
dude. He was super cool about it. He was like, you know, it is, you know, yeah, exactly. It is what it is. Hopefully next year we got a shot. You know, we high-fived and we're still bros. That's how we should fan. That's how we should all fan, man. Because
It's going to be hosted by Snoop Dogg.
Jets fans. Yeah, bro.
Snoop Diggity Dog.
I like Snoop. What's up?
Have a good day, my friend.
See you, brother.
All right, guys, I'm going to end this stream right here. Hope you guys had a wonderful time like I did. And as always, peace out.